Hello everybody, Megazard X here, back at it again to give y'all another very exciting video. And with the recent conclusion of that Nintendo Direct that happened there about a week ago or so, we managed to get every single major gaming presentation, along with a few other minor ones, for what I dub as the season of summer gaming. Everything that spanned it from that first Sony State of Play we managed to get in the last week of May, down to the, Summer Game Fest presentation, as well as the Xbox Game Showcase, along with the Nintendo Direct. And you had some other minor stuff that popped up in between, like the Yacht Club games and stuff, or like the Ubisoft Forward and stuff like that. With all the conclusion of all those major gaming showcases concluded, I just want to go through here in this video, just going through and just wrapping everything up into one nice little video of some of the greatest moments that we had from some of these presentations, some of the lowest moments we had from these other presentations, and then also just kind of what I think is the status of gaming, at least for 2024, and what they potentially set up for even beyond this year going into 2025 though. So if you hadn't already done so, make sure to go and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight up into this video. So looking at all these different presentations, overall, I feel like this year is, I would say originally, gaming in general is not going to be nearly as strong as this year as what it potentially could be based upon all the announcements we managed to get from this year alone. It seems like 2025 is going to be a very strong stack year in comparison to, maybe it might compare fairly well with 2017 with all of the major crazy games we managed to get dropping out on that year. Like the Switch alone had a lot of bangers though, but across like PlayStation as well, they had some cool ones as well though. But let's go ahead and take this, one step at a time. Let's go ahead and just quickly discuss about the state of play though. Now, just to remind y'all, on all these presentations, I did manage to make individual videos for it though. So if you want a more in-depth thing, I'll drop cards up in the corner as we go throughout all of these different presentations and stuff. If you want a more in-depth look, but this is just kind of a short synopsis and just a quick summary of everything though. So in terms of the state of play, I wasn't too entirely impressed within that presentation. Like out of that presentation, there's like maybe only a couple or a few things I might have personally pulled away from that presentation that I might personally pick up though. And then there were some weird questionable things that they showcase off in that state of play. The biggest thing is Concord. Like I don't know why they started off that whole entire presentation with it and kind of misled a lot of people though. They were thinking maybe this was going to be a cool Guardians of the Galaxy kind of RPG-ish related thing though, like a good single player experience though. However, it happened to be one of those hero shooters. It's kind of like another Overwatch skin thing, and I wasn't too hot on that. And it seems like everybody's just kind of burnt out on it. Like it seemed like they lost a lot of people though. They had no right to showcase off that game for 12 minutes, which is like almost about, I want to say like a third of their presentation or so, just showing nothing but Concord. Yes, I know that they wanted to actually, push that game real hard in terms of just, because that might be like their one major first party game they're relying on this year. Because we already heard a statement from Sony saying, hey, in terms of games that you can expect, like don't expect anything from a major 10 million seller clusters, like not a new sequel to God of War, a new sequel to Horizon, or a new sequel to Spider-Man, none of those. So we already knew it was going to be a somewhat lighter year for PlayStation though, but based on this reception, it wasn't too hot though. We managed to get a new look at Silent Hill 2 as well. That's coming on October the 8th. We got to see our first look at Monster Hunter Wilds. We managed to see it pop up within numerous presentations after the fact, but we first saw it here in the state of play. So that was a really nice announcement. I thought it brought up the whole show another level, at least for that announcement alone. And then the one thing that really stole the show for state of play, I would say, was Astrobot, and that's coming out on September 6th. That's one game that will cause me to actually fire up my PlayStation stuff. And from all these announcements, it seems like September, October, and November are going to be some very busy months, especially if you're someone like me that has access to potentially playing all these different games via PS5, Switch, and PC is how I play most of the Xbox stuff though. But overall, the state of play, it wasn't too hot. I think I gave it like a C in that individual video as well though. Thanks to Astrobot bumping it up huge points along with Monster Hunter Wilds though. But it definitely wasn't the major state of play that a lot of people really wanted to have. A lot of people really wanted to have a showcase though. But I think at least with the development side with Sony games and stuff, like they noticed, and it's taking like longer cycles for them to be able to make and develop these games. So much where it's almost taking like the whole life of what could be a console's life, 6 years to make a game. So it's like, are you basically making games for like the start of console generations and the ends? That's just kind of what it feels like right now. And whenever we do manage to get another showcase, it's probably just gonna be a whole bunch of games like a Ghost of Tsushima 2, and then obviously we should get another look at like Wolverine or maybe DLC for Spider-Man 2 or like a Venom game or something like that. All of those games are probably stacked towards the end of the PS5 life. When you sit down and think about it, which is kind of crazy though. That's just kind of where we're at with Sony right now though. But yeah, it's interesting. It's not necessarily one of the greatest shows, and I definitely think they took the biggest bullet in terms of like worst shows out of everything here though. Now let's go ahead and spin it over here to the Summer Game Fest side of things though, because at least with Summer Game Fest, I'd say it was a little bit better than Sony's State of Play, but not by much considering the fact that how it was like a 2-hour long presentation. I know Jeff Keighley likes his long shows, and it's just crazy to see the cost for all of these different games and stuff that they managed to do and put in his reveals. Like literally, it almost costs like upwards to like $150,000 just to have like almost like a minute's worth of runtime, and then like every half minute you add on top of it is like an extra $100,000. That's just crazy to think in terms of marketing dollars right there though. But in terms of the Summer Game Fest announcements, some of the most notable ones I kind of took away from, I want to summarize real quick. The Horizon Lego game, that definitely caught a lot of people off guard right there. And at least for that, it's crazy to see how the Switch logo popped up at the end of the announcement trailer on that one. So yeah, that's like one of those major first party games with a collaboration with Lego, obviously, though. It's coming to the Switch. So I was like, okay. Summer Game Fest had a lot of, reiterated titles that we already knew of, that we got a little bit more information on, thanks to them revealing some release dates for like games such as like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that's coming out on October the 11th, as well as Sonic's Shadow X Generation that's also coming out October 22nd though. So, I'm really looking forward to both those games in particular though. I'm glad we finally got a release date on that for the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero as well as Shadow. That's just some nice stuff right there. And obviously we got another good look at Metaphor Refantasy Zero. I'm already sold on that game. That's also coming out the same day as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This stuff is starting to stack up fairly quick. I'm just saying though. And I'd say that one game that probably sold the show is the Killer Bean game, which is based upon the movie that you're able to watch on YouTube right now. Steven was talking to me about that, and I need to get around to, watching that movie though. But man, that offshoot of like what is like a Grand Theft Auto game, that does look wild to me. I'm just saying though. But I mean, yeah, that looked pretty cool though. But yeah, Summer Game Fest, way too long. I wish that Jeff Keighley would do something in terms of like those announcement reveals and stuff, because there were some moments during this show that I was thinking, oh, is this a game trailer or is this actually an ad? Like, I think that needs to be a little bit more clear and stuff. I hate how the show is like 2 hours long, and a lot of the announcements that he could have gotten were obviously going to Xbox and Nintendo, as I'll talk about a little later on in this video though. But I mean, he did okay for what he had. It's not like you can actually like chew on somebody to actually say, no, you're going to show this off in my presentation though. So I mean, yeah, I don't know though. But overall, Summer Game Fest, it was a little better than the State of Play, but it wasn't as good as like the Xbox or the Nintendo one. And if I remember on what I ranked it on that one though, oh shoot, honestly, if I remember right, I think I'm ranked as a D minus. Both it and the State of Play were really rough. I mean, looking back at the State of Play now, the only reason why I gave it a C was because of Astrobot, really though. And Summer Game Fest I marked it as a D minus because it just got flooded out with all those other weird announcements and stuff. If they made it like a short 40-minute presentation, yes, I would have probably gave it a higher letter grade, but I don't know, that's just how I was feeling on that. Now, in terms of the Xbox Game Showcase, this was definitely by far one of Xbox's best showcases that they have ever managed to do in quite some time, probably going all the way back to the Xbox 360 era is like what I'm kind of getting as a general consensus from a lot of the Xbox community out there though, because I felt like for a lot of their titles, it was like 80% of first party games and very few select third party games that managed to get up in there though. Like the third parties we did manage to get that were kind of cool were games such as like we managed to get another good look at the Metal Gear Solid Delta. However, still no release date for it. I thought that would have came out in like 2024. That would have been cool if that would have been the case though. But I digress though. And then we had a new look at Assassin's Creed Shadows that's coming out on November 15th. And this one kind of breaks the mold a little bit within the Assassin's Creed series, just a little bit, where it's like, you're in this Tokyo era and stuff. So I'm down for it though. As long as I have enough time on my schedule, I do want to kind of check this one out because it doesn't feel like the same Assassin's Creed formula that we normally have, especially if you have like a whole entire stealth area that you're able to kind of sneak around in the shadows and stuff. So, that was some cool stuff right there, though. But in terms of first-party games, they did manage to kick it off with, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which I thought was, it looked really nice. It looks really cool, though. I'm not necessarily the biggest Call of Duty fan, though, but for all of those fans out there, though, I know that they're getting a kicker out of this. And, in terms of them acquiring studios like Activision Blizzard and all the Bethesda studios and stuff, it was only a matter of time until we were going to get all of these games start to snowball. And, Xbox will finally be able to actually consistently probably put out at least 4 games per year, though. It's only a matter of time. And I think we're finally starting to get the fruits of that labor, though. But then the second game they showed off Doom: The Dark Ages. I'm a big fan of Doom. There's not a lot of, shooter games I really like outside of like Splatoon and stuff, but Doom just somehow managed to click with me. I like the first, second, third, 64, and I have 2016, and I have Eternal though, so I'm looking forward to like the crazy stuff you're able to do in this game, like having a chainsaw, shield, and stuff, and throwing it. Wild stuff right there though. Then we managed to get titles such as like Perfect Dark, no release date. I think that was the biggest tadpole, or the major thing I noticed, at least within this Xbox showcase, is if we would have had more release dates, that would have made this showcase just a little bit better. I'm just saying, though. No release date on the Perfect Dark. That looked kind of cool. Indiana Jones is still looking great. We just still have the 2024 release date. Nothing specific in terms of the actual month and day yet, though. And then obviously they did manage to showcase off the new Xbox consoles as the second to last announcement. I was like, dang, they're going hard with that digital pushing though, but the pricing structure on some of those games, I was like, ooh, my goodness. And then they managed to end off the whole entire show with Gears of War E-Day. That's what they ended off with. It was a rumored game that a lot of people were kind of expecting that was going to be coming out. So yeah, for the Gears of War fans, you finally got another one though. So overall, Xbox Game Showcase, I thought it was really solid. I gave that presentation like almost like a solid B or B minus, I believe, or somewhere around that net range though. But overall, not bad for an Xbox showcase though. They managed to get, catch my eye on at least 3 or maybe 4 titles in that one though. So I tip my hat off to Xbox. Phil Spencer, that was a pretty good show. And then lastly, we had that Nintendo Direct. And, out of all of these presentations we managed to get from all these other different companies and stuff, I think they're the ones that definitely knocked it out of the park the most, though, because they started off the whole thing with the Mario and Luigi Brothership game. I thought Mario and Luigi series was dead, considering how Alpha Dream was, filed for bankruptcy and stuff. But they're running this mess back. So we got like Super Mario RPG, we got the Paper Mario, and we got Mario and Luigi all on the Switch, though. So that's just some great stuff to see right there. In terms of some other great first-party games we managed to get a remake or an HD version of Donkey Kong Country Returns, though. I really wanted to get a new Donkey Kong game. They met me in the middle with this one, though. So it's been a while since I played Returns. So I'll probably check that one out. Third party wise, they were knocking it out of the park. Square Enix didn't really have too much of a showcase in terms of like a lot of the other previous things though. I mean, yes, I think we managed to get like some kind of Square Enix game in the Xbox showcase, but it's not one I really care about that much though. But Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D coming out on November 14th. That is on the day of my birthday. You know what? That's a welcoming present right there, Square Enix. I'll welcome that any day of the week though. But it wasn't just that. They did confirm that Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are coming out in 2025. So I was like, hey, yo, I'm all down for this mess though. So really nice stuff in terms of the third party stuff. And then also just looking at a couple other third party games real quick though. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, 7 games in one though, including Marvel vs. Capcom 2, as well as some other obscure fighting games up in there, some that are actually a little bit harder to get. So I'm like, hey, Capcom, wasn't pulling any punches in this presentation. And they managed to confirm that Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, the first and second games, were coming out on the Switch as well on September 6th. So I was like, wait a minute, gosh dang it. I was like, this is great. I was like, Capcom really wasn't slowing down any of their punches. I was like, this is some great stuff right there. We did manage to get some new NSO updates like Zelda 4 Swords, Metroid Zero Mission stuff, Turok, as well as Perfect Dark. And even with Turok and Perfect Dark, they managed to do a new updated app that was like a mature 17 and plus. So hopefully we'll get a new, Conquer game coming out on the NSO service. It's possible now, people. It's possible. I really want that game though. So yeah, those are nice, great updates for the NSO service. And then to conclude things off, we managed to get 3 other first-party games that were all killer. We got a new Super Mario Party Jamboree, including like a 20-player multiplayer thing online. I was like, what the heck though? But yeah, we got a brand new Super Mario Party game. I did predict that, so I was right on that, right on the money. And we managed to get a new Legend of Zelda Echoes of the Wisdom. Kicker on this one is we finally got a playable Zelda, and it's a 2D Zelda game, same art style as Link's Awakening though. However, we also get some elements and stuff from Breath of the Wild in terms of like a crafting system or a copying system where you're able to kind of traverse through your environments and stuff. So I think it takes the best of both worlds from Breath of the Wild, 2D Zelda. We should get the return of classic dungeons as well, and playable Zelda though. So it seems like Anuma was really meeting us in the middle with this one though. So honestly, some really great stuff though. And then also to conclude the presentation off, stinking Metroid Prime 4. Oh my freaking goodness. I was certainly not expecting this one right here. Man, oh man, oh man. This was absolutely wild right here just to think about all of this right here. I was like, my goodness. Man, I honestly thought we were going to get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 before getting the look at Metroid Prime 4. And it wasn't no JPEG this time. We managed to get full gameplay and stuff like that, our first look. However, it's not coming out until 2025 though. But rest assured though, it's been 7 long years for us waiting to see any more information on it though. And it seems like it's come down to a conclusion fairly soon though. But I'm fully expecting this game to come out on the Nintendo Switch as well as the Nintendo Switch 2 though. So honestly, some really great stuff, at least from the Nintendo Direct right there. So overall, looking at all of these 4 different major presentations though, I feel like for a lot of people were kind of going in the summer game season of summer gaming expecting us to be kind of in a gaming rut. And while yes, you're not having like your gigantic AAA major hitters in terms of like first parties, like none of those games I mentioned are like super hard hitting to that level degree. It's not like a brand new 3D Mario or something like that, or we're not having like the new Ghost of Tsushima 2 or something like that though. Xbox might be the closest one in that regard though, but even then it's like, you know, very select few, and they were kind of selected with some of their release dates though. So 2024 is gonna be like a weird offbeat year, but it's not to say that we don't have some great, amazing games coming out. Whether you enjoy remakes, whether you enjoy ports, or whether or not there are actually new games though, but they're not like extremely high level, high budget cost AAA games though. There's something for everybody out there, whether you're on the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox, or the PlayStation in general though. I mean, the third parties aren't nothing to scoff at though. We got some great solid ones here though. And I'm looking at all the schedule for everything and I'm like, dang, like between September, October, November, we got a lot of gaming and stuff to really look forward to. I'm just saying right here, I'm going to start doing some. It's almost so much to the point where now I'm going to have to start looking at titles and figuring out what's a priority, what's secondary, and what's ones I can probably pick up at a later date to get it a little bit cheaper though, because it's almost getting to that point right there though, because with that Nintendo presentation wrapping up, there's just a lot of great gaming goodness though. So even though for a lot of people it feels like gaming's in a rut, I still feel like the industry or where we're at right now, it's still solid and it's still kicking and it's still breathing though. Xbox are dropping out a few more consoles here and there though. We might get that PS5 Pro announcement within a PlayStation blog a little bit later. We know Nintendo Switch 2 should be dropping out more than likely in the year of 2025. Some point later this year we might even get like the first reveal of it though. But overall though, I feel like all of these gaming announcements and stuff, while yes, we had some highs, we had some lows, overall, I think it was a solid, great average though. You know, Nintendo and Xbox holding up most of the heavy hitting announcements, I would say right there though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below, what all do you think about all the announcements and all the presentations we managed to get during the whole entire season of summer gaming? Did you have one of your favorites in particular though? I think a lot of people will probably say like the Nintendo Direct or the Xbox Showcase though. But if you happen to also like Summer Game Fest or even the State of Play, goodness, I don't know why you like the State of Play, I'm just saying though. Or even some of those minor presentations like the Ubisoft Forward or the Yacht Club Games, or was there like a Good Vibes game, or not Good Vibes Gaming, it's like I don't know, it's like a cozy direct or whatever though, or wellness. I don't know what that one is called, but there's one that pops up like that every single year though. Whatever the presentation is, let me know what you thought about all these different announcements and what you're looking forward to playing for the rest of 2024 and even beyond, looking into the year of 2025 though. But that's gonna basically do it for this video though. So if you really like this, make sure you're gonna hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. So remember y'all, until our video I make next, See y'all.